Hi everyone, this may well be my final video. Before I share with you the smoking gun, it is necessary that we revisit the gematries of Jesus in 3 languages that add to 2025. I will show you in my last slide that the Hanukkah Rapture 2025 is clearly hidden in this most amazing set of numbers. For now, notice how in moving from the standard values on the left to the ordinal values on the right, there's a transition from the Hebrew year just past, that is 785, to the current Hebrew year 786. The Jesus gematria triplet is so amazing that when they are added as 5-digit numbers, the sum is a multiple of 2025. Not only that, when the standard and ordinal orders are swapped, the 5-digit number total is also a multiple of 2025. Furthermore, 2 infinite product series may be formed. Their second members, also multiples of 2025, are numbers amalgamated with the standard and ordinal totals of Jesus in 3 languages that sum to 2025. This is simply staggering. But I want to show you something new and exciting. If we multiply the standard and ordinal totals in different combinations exhaustively, something amazing happens. Standard multiplied by standard. Standard multiplied by ordinal. Ordinal multiplied by ordinal. And lastly, ordinal multiplied by standard. First, notice that all 4 products are multiples of 2025. Second, the multipliers of the first pair of products anchored on the standard value 1800 add to 1800, the standard value itself. Third, the multipliers of the second pair of products anchored on the ordinal value 225 add to 225, the ordinal value itself. And the sum of the standard and ordinal totals is 2025. You can't dream this up. The most beautiful of all is the sum of the 4 products, that is 2025 times 2025. If the gematries of Jesus point so strongly to 2025, surely we can find confirmations from his word. And we surely can. Surprisingly, 2025 is hidden in the number 5. The pictogram of the 5th Hebrew letter He is a man with outstretched arms, representing Christ on the cross. The year 2025 is hidden in the 2 verses with the most mentions of the word 5. Each verse contains 4 mentions of the word 5. Before I show you the 2025 hidden quotes, be amazed that the middle verse of these 2 verses is Haggai 2:18, the verse with the date 924 or Kislev 24, the eve of Hanukkah, and the double emphasis on considering it. Its Gregorian date is also hidden in the chapter and verse numbers of these 2 verses. This is the first 2025 hidden quote. The word 5 is mentioned 9 times in Matthew chapter 25. Matthew 25:20 is the New Testament verse with the most mentions of the word 5. 5 times 4 is 20. The 5 fives outside of this verse in this chapter give a value of 25. So 20 combines with 25, we get 2025. the first hidden code of 2025. The second 2025 code is hidden in the Old Testament verse with the most mentions of the word 5. It is found in Ezekiel chapter 48 verse 16 that describes the city dimensions of Jerusalem in the millennium. The city area is a staggering figure of 20.25 million square cubits. Its perimeter is 10 times the standard total of the geometries of Jesus in 3 languages. Even the angles of north, south, east, west conceal Jesus. From north to south, the angle is 180 degrees. From south to east, 45 degrees. And from east to west, another 180 degrees. Hence, the north-south angle points to 1008, the standard total of Jesus. The southeast-west angles point to 225, the ordinal total of Jesus. The total angle of 405, that is 180 plus 225, times 5 is 2025. Why 5? Because there are 5 line segments in the figure that traces out the 4 direction. That looks like 4 inverted. So Jesus is clearly the architect. This verse alone conceals the Hanukkah date 2025. The play on the number 45 is deliberate. In tracing out north, south, east, west, the number 4 is formed, but inverted. There are 5 line segments in the number 5. 45 times 45 is 2025. The ordinal value of both Enoch and Elijah is 45. The rapture date is also hidden in the millennial temple and holy district. As the bride of Christ, we will be assisting Jesus in ruling from above. Perhaps this is why the rapture date is hidden in the millennial temple. The Gregorian year is hidden in the city area, 2025. The Gregorian month is hidden in the sanctuary area, 20 cubits by 60 cubits, which is 1200 square cubits. So you can clearly see 12 representing December. The quotient hides the Hebrew year 5786 in reverse. One can see the tetragrammaton, Yod He Vav He, hidden in the sanctuary dimensions, 20 by 60. Yod He Vav He adds to 26. However, the reduced value is 17, pointing to the 17th of December, which is the start of Hanukkah this year. And I believe we are going to be raptured on this day. The number 5 holds the key to the hidden rapture date. The 5th Hebrew letter He means behold the crucified Christ. Yod He Vav He pictorially is behold the hand, behold the nails. This is hidden in John chapter 20 verse 25, that is 2025. Go look it up. I want to wrap up the first segment in this slide before dropping the smoking gun bombshell. I want to show you even the month and day are hidden in the chapter and verse numbers of the 3 scriptures here. December 17 is hidden twice in the 2 bookend verses. The Hebrew date Kislev 24 is also hidden here. Both 17 and 24 are hidden in the middle verse, the Hanukkah verse. The first mention of Hanukkah in the Bible is the smoking gun. The Hebrew word Hanukkah, which means dedication, first appears 4 times in Numbers chapter 7, the chapter that records the sanctification and dedication of the tabernacle, exactly the Maccabean Hanukkah parallel. Significantly, this chapter is second to none, with 36 mentions of the word 5. The total value of 36 times 5 is 180, pointing to the standard total of Jesus, which is 1008. So this is the first time the sanctuary is dedicated. It lasted 12 days, with each of the 12 princes bringing identical sacrifices for each of the 12 tribes. Significantly, this is the first time sacrifices were offered to God in a sanctuary worship setting. The total number of animals sacrificed is 252, pointing to 2025, and also the ordinal total of Jesus, which is 225. 252 consists of 12 bullocks, 12 rams, 12 lambs, 12 goats, and 12 times 17 animals for peace offering. Hello, this is Shouting 2025, December 17. That opening slide is just a start. Besides the animal sacrifices, the 12 princes brought gold and silver utensils. Number 7 consists of 89 verses, second only to Psalm 119, which has 176 verses. We jump straight to the end to see the summary of the Hanukkah sacrifices. 12 silver chargers or platters, 12 silver bowls, and 12 golden spoons. Their total weight is 2,520 shekels, pointing to 2025. One silver charger weighs 130 shekels. One silver bowl weighs 70 shekels, and one golden spoon weighs 10 shekels. So their combined weight is 210 shekels, expressed as 70 plus 70 plus 70 here, thus pointing to December 17 of 2025. You can see the numbers 12 as well as 1 plus 7 and 2025. The second part of the summary describes the animal sacrifices. This was covered in the previous slide. Interestingly, if we exclude 70 plus 70 plus 70 shekels, the combined utensil and animal total is 2025 plus 786, the current Gregorian and Hebrew year. The reason why Numbers chapter 7 is such a long chapter is because 6 verses are used to describe each day's sacrifice. Hence, a total of 72 verses are needed to describe all 12 days. Other than the day number and the name of each prince, the verses are almost identical. We can already see December 17 in day 1's verses, which begin in verse 12 and end in verse 17. The quantity of each day points to month 12, which is December. The 12-day total points to the year 2025 and the month December. So we pretty much covered verses 12 to 89 in the previous slides. The opening verses also contain some numbers contributed by the 12 princes. The wagon and oxen total count is 41 based on textual description. Putting everything together, the grand total is 5870. This number is interesting as its mirror is 785, the Hebrew year just passed. But more significantly, it points to day 84 of the current Hebrew year 5786, which is 2025, December 17. Enoch is really a huge clue, as his Hebrew name Hanok shares the same root and meaning with Hanukkah, which means dedication. He is the seventh from Adam, as described in Jude, which records the last and 12th mention of the name Enoch. 12 times 7 is 84, the Hebrew gematria of Enoch. The 84th day of 5786 is December 17. Number 7 is chapter 124, which has a digital root of 7. Since there are 7 sacrificial categories and 12 days of sacrifice, 7 times 12 is 84. The shekel total contributed by the 12 princes is 2520. Add that to the gold and silver shekel total used to construct the tabernacle. The combined shekel total is 3920.25. Given that 3000 shekels make a talent, the total combined weight is 130 talents and 2025 shekels. The rapture of Enoch is recorded in Genesis 5:24, which is verse 130. Each silver charger weighs 130 shekels. The combined Hebrew gematria of Enoch and Elijah is 130, the only two raptured saints in history. 39 is the Hebrew ordinal value of Enoch. 210 shekels, the combined weight of charger, bowl, and spoon, is the combined English gematrias of Enoch in Hebrew and English. The 12-day dedication begins in verse 12 and ends in verse 83, which is the Hebrew gematria of Hanukkah. The dedication summary begins in verse 84, which is Enoch in Hebrew. The last verse of Numbers chapter 7 is 89, which is the modern Hebrew value for Hanukkah. The other temple dedication scripture is Zechariah 8:9, coinciding with 89, the modern Hebrew value of Hanukkah. So we can see how Enoch is so significant and is present throughout the hidden codes. This is my final slide, and it's really cool because I can show that Jesus himself is pointing to the Hanukkah Rapture 2025. We begin with the gematrias of Jesus in 3 languages. The mirror of 785 points to 5870, the grand total of shekels and animals described in Numbers 7, which records the first mention of Hanukkah. This grand total conceals the rapture date. Next, notice that 84 is hidden twice in the gematria numbers. 84 is Enoch in Hebrew and day 84 of 5786, which is December 17, 2025. If the digits 8 and 4 are blanked out, the total of the gematria numbers is 18020. This points to the Strong's number for Enoch in Greek. If we add to 18020 the number 8484, all numbers derive from the Jesus gematria values or numbers. The sum points to John 10:22, which records the feasts of the dedication attended by Jesus 2000 years ago. It is the only historical mention in the Bible. Thus, I therefore rest my case. Maranatha.